for educational and entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not reflect the opinions of the parent network or any of its other entities. They might not even reflect the opinions of the podcast host. The truth is out there. Here, we're just talking about things. Do your own research.
The jack of hearts will break me. Let's be like Jesus, baby. Does he ever look through your mind?
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Blurred Lines. It has been 30 years since the last time we were doing this podcast, but very excited to be jumping back into the fore, particularly with the subject matter that we've got tonight. But before I get started on all that, I want to say hi to my co-host tonight, Evolution. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great. Good to see you again. It's been a while, as we were discussing earlier. Just released the Journey 2, so I'm excited about that. It's out there and circulating, and numbers are growing. People are enjoying what they're seeing, so I'm happy about that.
It's exciting.
Very
It's
nice.
good.
Cool.
It took 6 months to put together. It's good.
And-
3 hours long. It ended up being 3 hours, man.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
This is the longest film I've ever edited, by far.
Wow. Okay.
It's good.
Well, people check out Journey 2 with my boy Evolution here. Is my other guy here, Jukebox. How you doing, brother?
What's up? I had to, do a surprise for you and make you do one of your own shows. So.
How
Here we
dare
are.
you, sir.
I'm good though. I'm good. I'm excited. JG's Lounge is about to host their first live in-person event. So that's pretty exciting. Get to introduce some new comics to the scene. And I'm all about giving exposure. That's what JG's Lounge is about. And things are going well.
Hey, by the way, where is this going to happen at and when?
This is going to happen at the Old Mill in Bonner Springs, Kansas on October 2nd, which is a Thursday night from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It is all ages. Donations are recommended, but not required. So come have a good time. It's a free event. It's going to be a lot of fun whether you show up or not. Let's put it that way.
There you go. We'll be there. You might as
We'll
well
be there. Might as well.
And don't feel bad if you come out to the show and you don't give any money to the people, and the people that are performing are able to feed their kids and stuff. Don't feel bad about that. Glad you kept your money in your wallet. That's very nice of you.
It's so,
He has a straight face when he says that.
he's doing so much better than I am. That's
I haven't been doing stand-up for 30 years and being paid tens of dollars to drive all over the country, lay the world to entertain people.
Hey, only on Blurred Lines and JG's Lounge you can get
That's
the
right.
true inside information.
That's
There
right.
you have it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of new comedy and entertainment endeavors, let's talk about world-ending spaceships heading towards the Earth.
This
Wow.
is exciting.
Let's
Yes,
go.
yes.
All right.
It's like you came up with the idea. It's perfect. Let's do it.
Amazing. I have the idea, but none of the information.
Yeah, that's how this is JG's Lounge at its finest right here. But I don't know, Sean. So the reason why I wanted to do this on Blurred Lines is because of sort of the depth that we get into, kind of conspiracy speculation. But this one in particular, there's a lot of fact information, assuming that you believe in space.
Hmm.
I've met a lot of flat earthers lately that don't believe it exists. So
Well, I mean, you can't blame flat earthers, because if you look at the let's just start with pilots. If you ask them about how they navigate the globe, they are told to look at it as a flat plane. They are not taught the parabolic nature, right, of the Earth. And flat earthers make also the point that for every 8 miles are supposed to be like a 16th of a drop, or
right.
But then they point out, like, well, I can see Chicago as an example up here in the Midwest from St. Joe, Michigan. Like on a very crystal clear day, you can see it. And if there was a curvature of the Earth, you wouldn't be able to see it. Plain and simple. So there are things that they bring to the table that make you kind of go, yeah. And it's and when they shoot the shuttles off, should go straight up. We should not see this curvature like this, right? But every shuttle mission, every one of them, they're like, oh, well, I have to no. The shortest link between 2 points is a straight line. And if they went like this, the Earth is not spinning fast enough where there's like, no, they straight up, nope. They go like this. So I'm just saying, people
I am very intrigued by the ideas that they come up with. Let's put it that way.
I will say, on one plane flight that I was on, I know you're up so many thousands of feet in the air. It was nighttime, and I took a picture of it because it was incredible. It was weird though. It was like this darkness, and then this little bitty kind of orangish light, and then it got a little bit lighter, and then it went back to darkness again. But it was kind of like not straight, but kind of like a small arc. You know what I mean? So I saw that, and I'm like, well, that's new. So I took a picture of it, and I'll have to show you guys one day. It would take me forever to find it. The show will be over by the time I find it, but I'll have to present that to you so you can reference this in the future.
I like that.
Well, you've had celebrities like, I think it was Shaq who was like, I have flown all over this world, everywhere, a multitude of times. Shaq, for God's sake.
Right.
And he said, I have never seen a curved horizon. And when he said that, he was chastised. He was excoriated. The vituperative language that was coming out against him when he said that, it was extreme. But anytime you challenge the ideas that, people have been raised up with, it's just like that in the Matrix when they said that they will fight to the death to defend, this system that they've been inured with, right?
I think I heard, I don't know, somebody told me, I don't remember who it was, is, even in elementary school, you're handed a globe and you're being told that that's what the Earth looks like. So it's not like, most of us have never actually seen it. We were just told, hey, it looks like this. So, there's that. Do I believe it's round? I don't know. Do I think it's flat? Probably not. For all I know, it's a freaking egg. I don't know. A crushed soda can shape. I don't know.
Some cultures say that we were riding on the back of a giant turtle. But flat earthers will tell you that it's not flat. Then there is curvature, but it's because it's a bowl. We are in a domed situation. The entire thing is a bowl that kind of is like this, right? But
which kind of backs up what I was saying.
Yes, it does. But here's the thing. We're not even taught the proper map. See, this is the thing. It's like, no, this is what it looks like. It's like, dude, would it freak you out to know that in comparison with the United States that, certain countries over in Europe are massive. They don't look like they do on the maps. And the United States is here. And if you look at the map, you go straight across the globe, right around here, it's Spain, right? Hits not. They're up here. Like our concept of the map has nothing to do with the way it actually looks.
Right.
So
one of our followers is watching on TikTok said it's kind of like the Halo game, like the way the map is set up. That's fair.
Okay, I've not played the Halo game, so I don't have a.
Yeah. But it's true. If you really think about like a lot of your dominant countries, like are actually along north of the equator as well. Like just the way it's set up, there's a lot of questions. That's another episode, I feel like.
Well, I mean, we have to. Okay,
so but this is your show. We can go wherever we want with the show. I'll be honest.
Well, no, I want to get to this alien spaceship, but
I'm sorry. What is the correct term that they're calling this thing?
It's called 3i Atlas because it's the third interstellar object, and Atlas is actually terrestrial something. It's just a term for
it's an acronym.
Object. It's an acronym for objects that we find in space. So 3i is the third interstellar, and Atlas referring to the object that has entered our solar system.
Copy.
Okay.
So that's
But you had a question that you wanted to ask me and Evo.
yes.
before
Okay.
we
So
start.
before we really dive into this,
Mhm.
what is your beliefs on extraterrestrials or aliens? And Sean, it's your show. Why don't you start?
Well, if all right, here we go. So, first of all, our government has admitted that yes, they exist, and it was received with the biggest apathetic response that the world has ever seen. What was it, a year and a half ago when they came out and they were like, yeah, actually these things exist, and we know that aliens exist and spaceships exist, and we're just like, yeah, we fucking knew.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't need 15 years on the History Channel of that Greek dude with the hair going aliens, right? Like we knew. And the evidence is everywhere. You have, unless we've been absolutely lied to about history, which we have been, you can look at different societies around the planet living at the same time, and the Aztecs and the Egyptians had the same figureheads, like these animal creatures with animal faces but human bodies, and look their architecture and their artwork. There is so many examples of spaceships and things, and
Right.
it's mimicked throughout these different. And it's like, and they had no possible way, according to historical fact, to be able to connect with each other to share this information.
Right.
Right. So it's like there's examples in our history of it. But man, I know shit that I've seen personally. I was coming back from the Comedy Caravan, which is in Louisville, Kentucky, and I was north of Indianapolis in the country, right? And I hit a deer. And the officer stopped out, actually shot the deer because it was all broken up on the side of the road. And it was so cold, he wanted to take a report. So he had me come back and sit next to him in his patrol car. And it's taken him a while to like tip tap the shit in on the computer. And I'm looking out the night sky. And as I'm looking, stage right over here, I see like a tree line. And above the tree line, this light in the sky just stops. I mean, like it sailed in and stopped, and then it separated into three smaller globes, and they all just went in separate directions all at once. And I looked at the cop and I go, "Did you see that?" And he said, "No, what?" And I told him the thing I just told you, and he gave me this look, and I go, "Oh, I'm not drunk, officer." It's like, that's the next assumption. I'm like, no, oh God, this is turning into a different kind of trap.
Right.
The conversation you don't want to have with the
That's
officer after you
I'm
hit a
probably
deer.
I'm probably gonna pronounce your name wrong, but I do appreciate you tuning in. It's arrogant to assume that we are the only intelligent life forms to exist in the universe. We're not alone. Thank
100%.
you.
Statistically speaking, it is an improbability that we are alone in this universe. How arrogant must we be to say, no, we're alone, we're it?
Right.
The Big Bang happened, but everything coalesced here, nowhere else. Shut up.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, shut your front door.
It's of course.
Okay.
So Sean, evolution, man, what do you got?
Hey man, I got some factual stuff here, man, to prove that we have activity beyond us. So we have the movie Men in Black, which identified Dennis Rodman. We have Independence Day, which brought up Area 51. There's so many other
Fact check it.
Factual, things that are among us. But yeah, I think that if Earth is here and we got all these other planets out there, there's definitely probably something going on with extraterrestrial stuff. And even when you look at some of this stuff that NASA's creating that we're using, some of this stuff is just so weird in how they are producing these ingredients. I would say like that to make this new stuff that's all of a sudden appearing that they benefit from when they patent it, right? Did you think about that in your thought process? A lot of this stuff that they're gathering from other areas outside of Earth
Right.
to use this, to make products to do different things that were not possible before, right?
Right.
So that's kind of the direction I will go with it.
If you just think about like the development of technology since what early to mid 80s,
Yeah.
Yes.
to where it
Yeah.
is now,
Mhm.
it's crazy to assume that just the human mind developed that all on their own. But even with that, like what I think this is Akali, I think was the name. I agree. Even if you're a flat earther and you don't believe in space and you believe in the ice wall, would aliens or extraterrestrials not just be the beings or life forms on the other side of that wall? So I think that no matter how you look at it, I think it's stupid to believe that we are the dominant race, and especially with what we do know. I mean, I've never been to space, so I can't sit here and say that everything NASA said is right because they've actually been caught in lies before. So you know,
Oh, really? Like when they lost all of the telemetry data from when we went up to the moon. Oh, we just don't have it. Where'd it go? Oh, I don't know. We had an intern, Steve, and I don't know. He threw it out with old pizza boxes.
right?
Really? Yeah, and that's the excuse that they say is the reason we can't go back to the moon. And more, you just have to look at the videos where they are faking being in the space station, and you see like the guy reaching over and adjusting, like the cord that the guy's hanging from, right? And the green screen effects where their hand goes through the ball. There's so much stuff.
Right.
And they say, what is it? NASA in Hebrew means lie or fib or something like that. We are
Right.
so full of. And another thing, the shuttle explosion. All right, I watched that thing blow up on TV in the third grade. I remember feeling the emotions, everything else, until you dig a little bit deeper and you start to see that every single one of those astronauts has a doppelganger that lives out there in the world.
Right.
And that's a whole other episode. NASA is full of lies.
They are.
All right.
It is, but it's all. I mean, all of that's government funded, right? All these high end businesses, government, people in those chairs that we don't know exist that are funding it, so they kind of control the narrative. But with that being said, July 1st, this is 3i Atlas showed in our solar system in a laboratory in Chile. They noticed it on a telescope out there. And it entered our solar system through a cluster of stars near the Sagittarius sign. And because of the entrance that it made, there is a Harvard professor named Avi Loeb, which is pretty popular, especially right now because of his speculations. I want to word everything right because I don't want to give him any discredit. He has not once said that this is an extraterrestrial probe or mothership, but he has speculated that it is possible. So I just want to make sure we're clear on this, anybody that's listening. But it entered our solar system going 133,000 kilometers an hour. How we get these numbers, I don't know. I have no idea, guys. I'm not. It's like me telling you how fast my pee stream goes. I have no clue.
I have a question.
Here we got, Sean.
Why aren't we using freedom measurements? Why are we using communist
freedom
measurements
units?
like kilometers?
That's so funny. Isn't freedom units like 3 countries that actually make up their own units of measurement?
No, it's miles per hour, sir. Miles per hour.
Oh, yeah. There's only 3 countries that use miles per hour, though.
Yeah, and you know what? Those countries are correct. Right.
So this thing's entered, and the way that it's entered into the solar system is following along the plane of our planet's orbits with the sun. And just off that one fact alone, Avi Loeb has told us that that's like a 1 in 22,000 chance that it's just coincidence, because of that trajectory. The last one we had was a Moa back in 2017. We got 6 people tuning in right now. Thank you guys. Feel free to join in the commentary. but Oumuamua kind of came down and then it just got kind of shot back out, but it wasn't along that plane. So that's the first thing that he determined that was a little suspicious. One, the entrance that it made July 1st, a very short time before it gets closest to us in October 29th. And he said because of the entrance, it was so hard for us to spot it. And that is also kind of, a little off. He also states that, which even NASA has said, that it doesn't have a trail behind it, like a normal comet that we've seen has this trail of like gas and dust that trails behind it. The light from the sun reflects off and kind of gives it this tail look to it. What it does have is sort of this, which I do have an image. It's like a just ball of carbon dioxide that's kind of just hovering around it. Which, if anybody knows, humans, we put out carbon dioxide, do we not? Is it possible that there is a being or life form inside of this object that's projecting I don't know, what is it when they're putting it outside of the ship, expelling it? I don't know.
Mhm.
Expelling would be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think expelling is proper. I'm not a scientist here, guys. I'm going to use idiot terms. That's what I'm doing here. What do you guys got so far?
It looks like
Apparently half the size of the sun. You're right. I actually heard. So apparently the size of the ship is, the ship. I said it wrong. Sorry, guys. The Comet 3I Atlas is 7 kilometers in length. I know it's not freedom units. Sorry, Sean. 7 kilometers in length, which is more than 100 times the size of Oumuamua, and even that in itself is very peculiar. So, what do you guys got so far?
it looks like a giant turd.
I was going to say the same thing.
Sorry, Sean. Great
No,
minds
it's
think
great.
alike.
I actually heard it is larger than the size of Manhattan, but it depends on the source. I mean, you could be right. I mean, either way, it's huge. It's larger than the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs. We know that much. If you believe in dinosaurs, anyways, go ahead, evolution.
Well, I don't get a ship when I look at that. I get something else. What exactly? I don't know. I mean, I kind of don't want to call it an asteroid either because of the way it looks. It looks like there's some type of, I don't even want to say flame. It looks like it's light coming from it on the inside. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
going to add another image here. Let's see here. If I can find it.
Well,
and
here's the thing, like, and I 100% agree on the big space turd thing. But our concept of what constitutes the elements of the universe and how things should look and everything else, and if it's going to be a spaceship, then it's going to be made of metal and all this. It's like, is it, or could it be exactly what we're looking at? Something encased in a rock that we have no way to identify, has never been on our periodic table. We don't know what the hell this is. And the thing that with this that I find very interesting is that they've said that this thing is making adjustments. It's not that it's just within this path that's heading towards the earth. It has made incremental moves so that it is staying on course.
Right.
Is what they've noticed. And I find that to be problematic when you're trying to just, say, well, it's just a gigantic, rock in space that got kicked out of the, that massive belt that's surrounding us.
Right.
So, but I think, do you have the images from the Hubble?
I can get some while you're talking.
Okay, because like this one, I think this is neat, but the ones from the Hubble, if you look at those, man, those say Imperial Star Destroyer all day, dude. I saw they kicked those out. What was it, 2 days ago?
Yeah, it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, and it just I saw that and I'm like, ooh, shit, that doesn't look happy.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's see what else I can find here.
But the thing is, does this actually exist? That's the other thing. Giant space turd Imperial Star Destroyer, does it actually exist? Because the thing is, the government, and this is proven throughout history, the stuff that we do know of, that the government's like a magician. It's doing stuff over here with its hands, so you can't see them doing the evil over here. All right. Now, I've used this example many times, but like the Gulf of Tonkin incident. All right. Oh, what does it say?
It says cloaking technology, perhaps, or a material that is more efficient than what we used for rockets. Here's my theory: if according to the results of some of the telescopes, is that there is ice and water trapped within this, which means that during its interstellar travels between galaxies, maybe it was just the dust and debris that it's gone through has kind of collectively built around it, which is also possible. And then that's what they say when it enters our solar system, that trail that leads behind it is because it's entered our sun's orbit. And that's starting to kind of melt off some of that debris and breaking it off. So that's what causes that trail effect. So
yeah, what if this is like the horror movie where it's like a massive dead spaceship, and there's some sort of horrific alien thing inside that killed the original passengers and everything, and it is on a collision course for those aliens to come to our planet and take us over. Ooh, scary. But anyway,
scary. I like it.
Going back to the way the government lies to us, like the Gulf of Tonkin incident. We had a destroyer in the Gulf of Tonkin before the Vietnam War kicked off, where it was fired upon. It was fired upon the first time, but the government didn't get the reaction that they thought they needed, so they lied, and the Secretary of Defense admitted they lied about it. A second attack on that destroyer, which then pushed us into the Vietnam War. So essentially our government, which they've admitted, lied about it's called a false flag. They had a false flag operation that they used to get us into Vietnam because they had things that they were trying to do. And thousands of our people, our brothers and sisters and sons and fathers, died because of a lie. So if you ever question whether the government will do something or not, they absolutely will. So if
we take on whole countries for resources.
Yeah.
We do it every day.
Right. So if this is a lie, like Project Bluebeam, then what is the purpose? Why are they doing this? Why would they lie about it? What the hell is going on? That they need this to be something that we're focusing on, looking out this way while something's happening down here. There's been a lot of strange stuff going on. I mean, I'm sure you guys had to have noticed it, like the multitude of earthquakes, and I mean powerful earthquakes that are popping off all over the globe, especially around the Ring of Fire, weather events, some of my theological friends are like shaking their fists and saying, man, it's into days, baby. Like what do you guys think?
I'm sorry to laugh, but I just can't help but think about the Epstein files. I'm sorry.
Files. What do we got left? Spaceship.
You know what? I'm suspicious too. I do agree that as far as the Project Bluebeam goes, I do think it's sort of a last resort to kind of like basically last minute chaos, new world order, boom, all at once. That's what I think of when I think of Project Bluebeam.
Wait, what does this say?
It says I'm suspicious of that as well. Aliens will be the last card they play, assuming that we have that control. Assuming that it is all just faked.
Well, okay. So Bluebeam. Here's the thing. We've been going through.
I can't get other images to load. Sorry.
Okay. going through what's been termed the Great Awakening, which is, people are waking up. They're starting to smell the BS, and everything that's been going on, and it's been going on around the globe, right?
Yeah.
And so, it was always suggested that with Project Bluebeam, it would be cut loose as a last ditch effort to basically, as you said, push us into a new world order or try to regain control. And for those of you that don't know what Project Bluebeam, at the most basic level, it is something just like this, where big alien attack unites everybody down here, and they will use holograms and everything else, this kind of shit, AI, to make it seem like an outside invader is coming in. And if you want a good example of that, there was a movie called The Watchmen, that in the graphic novel, that's what they did. They faked an alien encounter that took, hit the globe, and everybody united underneath it because of fear.
Right.
And fear is such a nice motivator. We saw it during the jabby time.
I got removed from live access on TikTok for violating community guidelines, people.
What?
I didn't say the F word.
Nope. We're talking about stuff they don't want us to talk about.
Wow. Are you serious?
There you go.
Just happened. Good thing we're live on YouTube right now, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you guys.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yep.
Jeez.
What other proof do you need? Truth's getting out there, and we're dropping facts, on it, and all of a sudden they're just like, "Oh, that's getting too close."
So let's say, okay, Avi Loeb has even talked about. He's like, "Look, he's like, I'd be very relieved to find out, hey, this is just a comet, and there's nothing to worry about, because its trajectory is not meant to hit Earth. It's following the plane. It's going to pass by Mercury, Jupiter, and Mars pretty closely. And the closest it will get to us is October 29th, and it'll pass behind the sun from us, like exact opposite, which is another thing that Avi Loeb talks about. Well, let's see what she says here. She said, just look at the holographic light shows in China. The technology exists to make an invasion look real. Yeah, if they really wanted to.
Absolutely.
But why? Lots of reasons, anything. A global communist government. But so based off this trajectory and what he talks about how when we launch rockets or we retrieve ships from missions, that we use the orbit of the sun to either accelerate or decelerate rockets. And he said that not only the trajectory path being coincidental, that is a prime opportunity for us not only to not see an object, but for it to decelerate and stop behind the sun and then make an attack move, if that's what it wanted to do. Assuming that this is an actual piloted probe or a mothership, that he's like, this is what we would do. He's like, if we were doing this is exactly how we would do it, which is why he says 40%.
And see, that's the, like, if this is not a Bluebeam situation and this is, real deal Holyfield, then the frightening thing is, as it gets close to approaching us, if we note again adjustments in its trajectory and deceleration, those are the things like I'm keeping an eye on, because if that happens, bro, you want to hope for the best, but like my dad always used to say, hope for the best, plan for the worst. And this is one of those things that it just, dude.
Would you not at least want to take the consideration of it being a possibility? Like, we could at least kind of prepare. We could set up some sort of a stage front in case it shows up and it is that. We could at least attempt something, even if it's nothing. right?
Well, this is my take on that. If this is a being that is far beyond our technology that can travel intergalactically, um, what the heck could we come up with that would defend ourselves against something like that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless they're allergic to what is it?
Yeah. What do
Uh,
you got? What do you got?
uh,
Come
freshly cut grass or
Yeah.
pollen. You know what I'm saying? You know what
They like
I,
dip their toes in our atmosphere. They're like, "Ew, it feels weird."
you know what I'm saying? I mean, unless we have something like that that would totally disrupt their setup, I think we'd be at their mercy. You know what I mean? You know, because you look at it. If this is what they somewhat speculated is, you know, like Sean said, if it starts slowing down or changing its direction, um, yeah, we need to freak out, of course. But then, how will we know what to do, or if it's actually something that's gonna harm us? You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I mean, I would say be prepared with, whatever, rail guns and the different higher end technology that we have and the other things we don't even know that the government has that we don't know about. Have those technologies prepared. But the one thing I wouldn't want to do is just start swinging away at these things, if they do stop and they're, get within our orbit or whatever, because they might be like the Vulcans, and hear me out here. Elon Musk just released, and there's also something coming out of Germany. Germany's going crazy with technology. They've recently come up with a gel that heals cartilage in the knees, no surgery needed.
Wow.
It's either Germany or France who they just came up with an engine that has plasma, creates no heat, no anything, and it's powerful, right? Then Elon Musk was saying they now have a dyed in the wool, the ability to create a warp engine, like the technology exists now. So
there was even test phases of reconstructing bone fragments and stuff like that. It's crazy. Like it's just regenerating bone.
Yeah. So we have all these advances that are happening, and if alien civilizations are keeping, because if you follow Star Trek at all, when we created warp technology, that's was like kind of the clue in from the Galactic Federation, like, okay, they're advanced enough, we can talk to them to bring them into the Federation, like they're here, and I'm just wondering if it's like we are to that point, and there's going to be an evolution of the entire planet where it's like, oh, we're part of this, bigger thing, and we need to stop fighting. And all of the stuff that's going on all over the planet is kind of like the death, agonal breaths of, like the bad guys, so to speak. I mean, the possibilities are limitless, but man, like if this turns out to be something, like legitimate alien contact coming down and we handle it incorrectly, bro, I think we're in trouble.
Well, I mean, NASA released an article stating that this is upwards of 11, what did they say? 700 billion years older than our solar system. This object is, how do they get that number? I have no fucking clue. I don't know how but that's a number that they threw out there. 700 billion.
Wait, we got kicked off TikTok, right?
Yeah. Right out the window.
Please. I'm sorry, but
that doesn't make any sense. How do you just come up with that number?
They're so full of shit. That's the thing. We did maths. It's okay. It is very much like, when they say, oh, on the surface of this planet, it rains diamonds. Oh, does it? You were there on vacation with your family,
right?
In your lab coat. You fucking, and we just buy this shit. How do you know this?
It's
How
all
do you-
hypothesis and best guess. And my theory that I have, if there are aliens on there and they come here, we should test first by giving them marshmallows, because if you give anything marshmallows, uh, even an animal, if they like it, then they become your friend, right?
So you're suggesting we train the aliens like dogs?
Marshmallow launcher.
No. I'm saying you don't stand there waving a gun, right? Because
Right.
that's going to raise the flag, right? It's
Right.
going to raise the alarm system. But if you offer a marshmallow and they taste it and they're like, oh, okay, well, this is good.
So
Yeah.
here my theory is something that I discussed earlier with you, Stan, is that what Stephen Hawking mentioned years ago.
Mhm.
Is he suggested that we not shoot signals out into the universe because we don't know what might pick it up, right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
if this is potentially one of those scenarios where something that much more intellectual than we are
Mhm.
received that and is like, hey, let's go see what these guys got.
Mhm.
There's no way to even make an assumption as to what their presence would be. Even as it gets closer to us and the dust and the debris starts breaking off and
Mhm.
whatever it is, and we start to see what's underneath that,
Mhm.
Until mid-September, we're really not going to have a good view of this thing. This is just an AI generated image. We don't know really what it looks like. We
I
know
would
that there's a
just-
cloud of carbon dioxide
Mhm.
around a body, and we know that the mass is equal to about 7 kilometers in length. That's really what we know, and then the speed that it's moving.
Well, I would just hope and suggest strongly that the person that does the communicating is not the administration that we have currently, because we will definitely be at odds.
Or we just wouldn't have an administration after the first day.
Be like, well, I don't like the way you look, so we're going to.
Are you wearing a wig?
We're going to put a tariff on you for coming into our country, our universe.
Did you guys ever see Mars Attacks?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, yeah, hands down for me, one of the best space spoof alien invasion movies that there's out there, and I love it because you don't get attached to anybody in the movie except for Tom Jones, because everybody gets smoked. And what this reminds me of is when they first meet the aliens and the hand comes off and like crawls up and like stabs through President Jack Nicholson's chest.
Yes.
And it's just, oh man.
Well, this is actually a good point to kind of discuss, right? So if they're here for sources, and we talked about this earlier, if they're here for our resources, maybe their planet blew up and this is just a part of it that they traveled on. If they're here for our resources, they ain't going to care about what we have to say. They're going to take us out.
Absolutely.
100% with that.
And they're probably going to be cranky because that's a long travel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cranky and hungry and all that other stuff.
But the thing is, what they're not counting on, and one of the reasons that our country hasn't been invaded, because as they've other generals from other countries have said, there's a gun behind every rock and every tree in the United States. That's why we don't want to toy with the idea of a land invasion. They're going to come down here with their alien bullshit, and there's going to be a bunch of rednecks in Alabama are going to be like, oh hell yeah.
Mommy, go get that slingshot you crafted.
Mama, get my shooting iron. I'm just saying, they might find a lot of resistance where they didn't expect
backwoods militias are like, this is what we've been training.
Yes.
I told you, Mama. The reason why I didn't go to no college.
You're just sitting there waiting for the aliens to come down, holding their AR-15s. I'm so
with a PBR
right
on the other hand.
Yeah, just hopefully they don't have the power of Neo They just throw their hands up and say,
Uh,
no, and it just stops.
yeah, it just stops.
Well, so if they're here to either, I don't think they're here to learn or to observe. If it is that, I really don't think they're here to learn or observe us, because we're very ancient in our technology compared to everyone else.
Babies, yeah.
I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. Maybe they stop at Mars and we have neighbors. Some Morse code signal with flashlights back and forth to each other.
Right.
No, we're going to be looking through our telescopes, and they're going to be like spaceships with the wheels off and like dishwashers in on the lawn. Like just horrible neighbors have moved. They're intergalactic white trash is what they are.
Somebody contact their HOA.
Now going back to the movie I was talking about, Independence Day. Now, if this thing slows down and stops, and then other smaller, which will be probably a great size of ships, come out of it and play the game of chess, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That might be a little bit of a problem.
Right. And the biggest thing that I want to take away from the information that I presented is that this is speculation. Again, we've already talked about how NASA has lied to us before. We all talked, Avi Loeb has even mentioned, I'm not saying it's not a comet. I'm just saying we should prepare in case it's not. Lord says I'm from Oklahoma. We ready.
Yeah, boy.
That's what's up, man.
He's probably sitting there shining his moss robe, just going, "Come on, Daddy." Love it.
That's good. I do hope that let's say it is ill intent. I hope it is very quick and painless for everyone. Because if we're talking about World War here, or War of the Worlds here, I'm taking a few out with me.
Amen.
Even though I know I ain't gonna make it, I'm taking some out.
Hey, look, man, better to die in your sleep or go out fighting, right?
Right.
But I mean, look, if the greatest hope is that it is that Star Trek scenario where they are coming down, like, hey, you guys have made it. Now we're going to welcome you into this federation where the technology is going to fix all your health problems, and you're going to learn, expand your consciousness and really understand the universe. Like, God, wouldn't that be the
Where
best?
would that leave us though? Like, because think about all of the lies that would be exposed.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, those entities, if Big Daddy comes down in the Big Daddy spaceship and says, we are raising you up into this new level of consciousness, there's nothing that those entities can do. They're defeated. Right. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is they're coming down, and it is like Independence Day or Cowboys versus Aliens, if you want to look at that movie scenario where they're coming to like pull all the gold out of the earth.
Right. Relaxing Time says, I think it's interesting that Warner.
Yes, wait and see, man.
Yeah. Relaxing. It says, I think it's interesting that Werner von Braun, a space engineer who passed 1977, has on his tomb a Bible verse that talks about the firmament.
Yes, 100%.
Let's talk about that. I don't know much about the firmament. What are we talking about here?
Okay. So every culture, especially, going back in the day, states that the earth is covered by a dome, essentially. Now, biblically, it's almost described as the waters above, right? And they use that as the explanation as to why everything looks fuzzy. You're underwater looking at it, but that's what the firmament is. I mean, essentially, we live in a gigantic snow globe. Like,
yeah, gotcha.
And it wasn't paperclip. Well, there was a project back in the 60s where they wanted to test whether there was a firmament, and they shot some rockets up straight up, and they exploded, crashed into stuff, right?
Mm.
And that information wasn't super readily available.
Right.
But I'm going off of memory. I'd have to look up all that information.
Right.
But yeah, that thing about Werner von Braun, 100%, man. You know. So.
Oh, he popped up there. He says the quote is, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth His handiwork."
Yeah.
Interesting.
And this is a person that knows a great deal more about space and science and rockets and technology than we do.
Right.
But I will also note that, and I think it was Stephen Hawking also who made the point that if aliens come to visit us, the statistical probability that they're here for happy good times is incredibly low. He's basically said if they're here, we're screwed.
Right.
You know.
Right. But are they not already here? You know, I mean, there's so many different ways you can spin this discussion, because, like, you know, there abductions. I don't believe that if aliens have been over here observing us, that they're farming us, probing us, and just releasing us. They are far more intelligent than to have the need to do that, even based off of some of the stories that I have, you know, that you hear. I think that they've been observing us for a while, if they exist, and if they're here, it is for an intention that is far greater than anything that we can alter, in my opinion. So,
well,
Interesting.
and what you got, Evolution? You've been quiet for a minute.
Yeah, I'm just taking it all in and processing this image here. Is that
The turd,
circle?
the
Yeah.
smoking turd.
Yeah,
Space
man.
Dookie.
Because okay, so you mentioned the speed that it's going,
Uh-huh.
and to me, if it's going that speed, even in a captionized photo, a still photo image of it, why are these clouds around it not going backwards? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
So-
actually, I was trying to get more images but I don't know why it's downloading them, but it's not letting me access them, and I don't know why.
Mhm.
But
I think it's because it's TikTok not wanting you to.
TikTok's gone now.
No, it's other things. I'm just being sarcastic. Nobody
But
wants you to download that information.
There's images of the carbon dioxide that is surrounding it, and it is a frontal view. And instead of it trailing behind, it's just kind of this ball around. No, Lord, this is not. No, Lord, this is AI. We actually don't have a clear image of what it looks like. This is just what, you know, some of the images they've came up with, or you know, fragmented and put together.
Right. Look up the Hubble image.
Until I tried, yeah, but it's very
No,
blurry.
not you. I'm telling our
Even
guests.
the Hubble ones are like very blurry splotches. Like until like mid-September, we're not going to have a good view of what this is.
Atlas.
Oh, are you looking it up?
Yeah, trying to find it.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if it was Mega Made from Spaceballs? I would be so happy.
Right. Lord says I went to sleep and technology changed. That's pretty quick, man. It's developed crazy. But no, I don't.
So Sean, you will appreciate this. It says 130,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Freedom.
this
Ladies
is
and
showing.
Or 220 kilometers. 220,000 kilometers.
Jukebox is gonna.
Just saying.
Just say it. Just say, I love Stalin. Just say it.
Too good.
So by these images, it's just kind of like lights in space.
Yes.
So how could they come up with any of the information that they're coming up with if this is all they're getting, right?
Right.
It's not even. I mean, it's almost no way you can come up with the statistics that they're coming up with.
Right.
You know, the how old it is, or carbon, even the carbon dioxide statements. You know what I'm saying? By this, it's just I don't know if you can. You probably can't see that at all.
No, I'm gonna try and just link my phone so people can see some stuff here.
But this is just like you remember the old video games like Space Invader,
Mhm.
the little missiles that they would shoot down. That's what this looks like. You know, and it's just light and dark. You can't really, and it's not even a fine tuned image. You know, it's kind of blurred a little bit. So, with all the information that they're giving us, to me, it's not even possible to come up with anything. You know, anything at all.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, again, this is so far outside our realm of understanding. That cloud that's surrounding it could be some sort of propulsion engine that, as it undulates, propels the thing through space.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
we think rockets have to be behind, you know, the thing pushing forward using thrust, you know, anyway, physics. But if there is this rime of you know vapor around it that works against the surrounding environment, and as it you know undulates back, it pushes for. I mean, it could be anything like that. We don't know.
We have no clue. Like we
No.
really don't. Like, just the images that we've seen of this thing. There's not really much to speculate off of.
Right. Nothing.
So to come
mean-
up with those images are absurd. Relaxing says, I was thinking a what if the Tower of Babel is happening all over again because we have technology that allows collaboration between languages.
Like it's gonna fly down and like flip the butt end of it is gonna slam into the planet, like kind of an obelisk situation.
Mm.
Right. This was from from the Hubble yesterday, actually. And so the red around it is the carbon dioxide that's expelling from it, but and the light is in the front of it, which is not that. Again, it typically trails behind a comet. So this is part of some of the speculation of what if it's not, you know, it's not a comet.
Those are
But
clearly,
again,
those are clearly headlights.
That's actually a pimple that I zoomed in on.
Oh my goodness!
You know, blackheads. This is just a really bad one. It's just a really bad
If those are headlights, then this sounds like the beginning of the cartoon movie Heavy Metal. Got a one-way ticket to midnight.
That's too funny.
Heavy metal. God, that movie. If you like cartoon boobs, watch Heavy Metal. Oh boy,
Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to take in, but at the same time, do we really know anything about it? No.
No.
We know nothing.
speculation, 100%. You know, just
That's
like
it.
that's obviously a carbon. You don't shut up. Did you say it? No, you didn't. Shut up. Like every scientist that hears my voice, shut up.
I really think it is a very mundane of even scientists that are, you know, very intelligent to just go, no, it's definitely it's a comet. You guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like even there's tons of articles right now about it from all over the world of these people that are studying it, talking about how it's not the characteristics of what we've seen, you know, and then we got all these like higher up NASA people are like, no, it's just a comet. That's just a really big turd going through our solar system. That's all it is, guys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're towing the company line 100%. Because they look at us.
Lord, actually, if you look right now, it's if you just look through iAtlas, there's a lot of big sources that are talking about it.
Yeah.
Which is funny because the people I've talked to about it haven't really heard about it. But if you look it up, a lot of big sources, credible sources, I wouldn't say that credible, but you know, just more relevant, you know, are actually talking about it. So it's not. I don't know. That's why I wanted to talk about it tonight, because there's too much being released, even by some big names about it. Like
Mhm.
it is here. It's in our solar system. Now what? That's kind of where I'm at. In 2 months we're gonna find out, or
Yeah.
we're not, or we're not.
No, not right.
Well, but the thing is, like, especially on the TikToks, for some months they've been saying that there's a mothership over the Gulf of America. That's right. I said Gulf of America, okay, because that's the official name now. So, deal with it. Freedom, baby.
Right.
But seriously, like I've seen so many reports about stuff like that, and lights in the skies, all kinds of things all over the place. And if you believe even half of the things that have been reported, this could be observation for a big event, and we're at the center of it.
Right.
That's another thing to consider. Like all of these visitations. Do you remember when last year when Trump took office? Just beforehand, all of those, and it finally like, oh no, they were drones. Like
Right.
all of those weird things that were flying in, and and there was no explanation about them.
Hmm.
And then they
Yes.
kind of stumbled out with this. Oh,
Are you
drone.
talking about on the East Coast, where like
Yes.
lasted like 2 months and nobody had any idea besides drones?
Yep,
Hmm.
that, and then down in Mexico, that metal ball that they found that has all the weird carvings all over it, and they had no explanation as to how the thing
Mm-hmm.
was flying. The metals are weird and all that shit.
Hmm.
Like all this stuff has been happening, and I don't know, man. Like this might be the denouement, the big
Right.
final step of this chapter, and we're going into the next one.
Right.
And we need to, I think, on some level, have a bit of preparation one way or the other.
Agreed. And that's I think that's why I appreciate Avi Loeb's input on this out of everybody's, because of the fact that he's like, look, I'm going to be very relieved if it gets close. And we're like, nope, it's just a huge rock, like that'd be, because we, as of right now, it's not going to touch us. It's going to pass all the planets. It's going to get close. It's going to pass right through our solar system and be gone, just like a Moa. But if it is not a rock and it is of intelligent life or being piloted by an intelligent life form, then you have to at least, and I think evolution, you might disagree, but I think that there should be some preparation, at least
Well,
for the possibility.
I didn't actually mean that we should not prepare for whatever. I'm just saying we shouldn't jump the gun. You know what I mean? Because we have no idea what it is or what it wants, or like you said, it's probably just a big rock passing through. But should it end up being something else, I'm not going to be first in line to greet it. You know what I mean?
Standing out there with your thumbs up, like hitchhiking.
Oh, I hope they show up and their like main guy comes down. And he's like, "We need to speak to evolution." We saw his 3-hour movie.
We just
We
watched
loved it.
it too. We need to know.
Hey, if that happens, man, I'll be ready.
I'll be there.
I'll be ready.
He's gonna be like just tightening up his
The
tie, like,
evolution will step
well,
out like, "Oh, hey, hi."
Lord, I do know that they have adjusted the James Hubble or James Webb telescope, which I believe is orbiting Mars. Is that correct? I might be wrong on where it's orbiting right now. But there are two telescopes that we have in orbit that they have redirected to monitor it, but it's still so far away that we can't get a good image or a clear image, which is also kind of like where they're getting all this information from.
Mhm.
I can understand like shooting sound or shooting light into space to determine distance or light years. I understand that, but when you're getting to that level of numbers, this thing's moving 220 kilometers an hour, Sean. 220,000. How are we getting images of this thing? You know, this just doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
Well,
okay, here's the other thing. These are blurry as hell. Yet they will come, the scientists will say, oh, 15 light years away, there's a planet that we suspect is an M-class planet, where we could possibly, they could have life. It's like, really? How did you see that? With what instrumentation? What are you talking about? We can't even get clear images in our own solar system. What are you talking about? This is why most of this stuff that they put out there, I call bullshit on.
Right.
All right. And I'm not an educated man.
Is that supposed to be what it looks like?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of images that are depicting this. It's very long and thin.
Turd.
It's a big turd.
It's a big turd.
So from the cameras we have here, if it's at the distance that it is, how are they getting side views of this thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's I mean, off of the images we see, like the little bleeps of light with the little red highlight around it, and we're here, we're obviously in front of it. How in the world are they getting these side images? It just, to me, that's just speculation. There's no way they can come up with this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
However, that one that you had before this did kind of look like some type of ship with a bunch of crud on it.
Relaxing.
but
it looks healthy, steamy on some pics. That's funny.
But no, man, I just think this is way over predicted. A lot of BS, like Sean says. I don't think that any of this stuff is actual. It's just all
well, I don't know,
best guess hypothesis.
Well, when it really boils down to it, like, do you believe in space too? I mean, do you believe that space is there? Because it's really up to, the only thing that I've seen is what I look up at, but that doesn't make it what I hear.
I mean, I've never been to space, so I really can't confirm that.
Like those really thin blankets, like as a kid, you could like look really close at the fabric and see holes in them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just a big blanket and we're just seeing some light that's coming through the blanket.
Which, by the way, a lot of flat earthers describe the firmament. So there you go.
I don't know. What do you got, Sean? What's your last thoughts on this stuff, man? It's been a good show.
Yeah, and I would say just to be prepared. Again, my dad's advice.
How do you prepare? How do you prepare? How do you prepare for that?
The way you would prepare for any sort of calamity. Stock up on water. Stock up on non-perishable items. Get ammunition. Just all the standard stuff. And try
toilet
to
paper. Make sure you grab your toilet paper before it's out of stock.
100%. But I'm just saying, like, if it's shelter in place time and things go down, be prepared to sustain as long as you can. And then once the shit runs out, I mean, it is what it is. But let's hope for the best. I would say that with this thing, that it is just, but given what we've seen as far as the suggested images, and it does look like a big turd, maybe it is end times and God is throwing a massive shit at the earth.
That one really looks like a turd.
But you see what I'm saying? Like that if God throws a massive theological turd at the earth, it would be fitting.
It would actually. It would. What do you got, Evolution, man? What's your last thoughts?
Well, I thought I just gave them, but I'll.
Yeah, I know, but I like hearing you talk about this stuff because I feel like me and Sean have a wider conspiracy theory mindset behind this stuff than you do. If that's fair to say.
With everything that was presented tonight, and looking at the Hubble view, which is basically all we have to look at on Earth. Unless they got some other stuff that we don't know about, which is probably possible. Right. But what they're releasing to us and what we're seeing, I just say we got nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just something that's out there that they noticed this that's there that wasn't there before. And it's approaching. and that's pretty much all I got.
Right. Relaxing said, how big of a crater? I'm guessing crater. Is it making? Well, it's not actually going based on its trajectory. It's not going to hit us. But if it is of a piloted vessel, I guess is the best way to put it, then it would probably release, a bunch of smaller ships or smaller objects to come here, or it's going to come here, but I don't think it's like going to crash and explode. If it did, I mean, again, this is a lot larger than the one that took out the dinosaurs. So extinction's probably going to happen. If that did happen, I'm just saying.
Well, if it's that big,
Yeah.
it's probably going to be the end because if you think about the size of the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs, it definitely disrupted the planet to where it had to kind of just start all over, I guess. But this thing would probably, put a big enough hole in it, to where it just, explodes or whatever.
Well, I think the length, what is it from Earth, from the surface of the Earth to the firmament? What is it, like 2 miles? It's not even that far away, is it?
2 miles is suggested distance that I've heard.
So if this thing was to hit us, it'd just be sticking out of our orbit, breaking the firmament, because the impact, it would just stick like a dart. And just hanging. So I don't know. I mean, it's definitely going to be a new world if this is of intelligence. That's all I gotta say. I think that it is stupid not to at least consider it as an option. That's all I'm saying. I really hope it is just a comet. I hope it's just in and out, gone. But it's enough for me to be concerned to want to talk about it.
Yeah. As long as they're not mind readers, I'm okay.
Right. I don't know. What is it? 700 billion, years ahead of us, or older than our solar system.
And how do they get that? You know what I'm saying? We talked about that a little bit too, Jukebox. But how do they get that? You know what I'm saying? From what we're saying, how do they even get that?
LEO or low Earth orbit haven't been passed since the moon. Yeah. I don't know how they get it. I have no idea. Evolution. I don't. It's all. I could sit here and throw out some random ass numbers that are really big too.
Yeah. Right. I mean, when you have a situation like we have, and something like this shows up on the radar, and you have someone on one end saying, "Hey, I need some answers. I need to know what this is. I need to know now. We need to understand what's going on." And then you got people over here like, "I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. You better tell them something." I have nothing. You know what I mean? And you got, okay, so it's like light years. It's like from another galaxy, and it's they just start spitting stuff out just to give something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I say it's a lot of best guess and hypothesis going on here.
I did stumble upon his name's Stephen, like Benz or Binks or something like that. He studies the surface of the sun and the flares, and he's talked about, it was like 5 or 6 days ago, about how the sun is now reacting to this thing approaching, and it's starting to kind of shoot out these solar flares towards the object. So it is starting to alter, our solar system. It's starting to impact it in a sense that the sun is now reacting to its presence.
If you believe it's the real sun.
Right. There's a lot of ways we can go with this. A lot of ways. But I don't know. Unless you guys, Sean, it's your show. You want to keep going, or you want to wrap it up, man?
I think if we get any further with this, it's just going to become circular talking about the same things. I mean, I think we've nailed all the salient points, and we've had some great comments from people chiming in. I'm loving
Yeah.
it.
People I've never seen. So thank you guys for hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. So just let's be prepared. So Evo gave final thoughts. I gave final thoughts. JG, do you have anything else to add before we wrap her?
No, I mean, really, like I said, I agreed with you. I think it's something that we should, at least and even I think Evolution did mention. I think that it's something that we need to have in the back of our mind, and until like mid-September, we're not going to know for sure.
Absolutely.
And even then, we're probably still not going to know for sure.
I'll just say, along with the things that you gather for preparing for whatever, just make sure you have some marshmallows included in your stack.
Yeah. And some milk chocolate Hershey's, no dark chocolate bullshit, okay?
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us on Blurred Lines.
Thank you guys.
Glad to be doing this again.
Uh-huh.
And as with always, we always say with Blurred Lines, don't take our word for things. Do your own research. We don't know what we're talking about. So find out for yourselves, come to your own conclusions, but just know that the truth is out there somewhere, and the government's definitely not going to give it to you. So just want to say a big thanks to everybody that tuned in. Thanks, Jukebox. Thanks, Evo. And join us for the next Blurred Lines. I'm Sean Shank.
I'm Jukebox.
Take care.
You guys have a good night.